Welcome to 20-Year Chronicles, your weekly deep dive into the significant events and captivating stories from exactly 20 years ago. This week, we explore the moments that shaped history from June 16th to June 22nd, 2004. I'm your host, Ashley Lynwood. Hello, everyone. I'm Ashley Lynwood, and I'm thrilled to take you on this journey through time. In this episode, we're looking back at the week of June 16th to June 22nd, 2004. From political milestones to cultural phenomena, this week was packed with events that left a lasting impact. The presidential race. On June 16, 2004, the U.S. presidential race was intensifying as Democratic candidate John Kerry ramped up his campaign efforts against the incumbent president, George W. Bush. This election was shaping up to be one of the most contentious in recent history, with both candidates focusing on key battleground states that would ultimately decide the outcome. Campaign strategies. John Kerry, a U.S. Senator from Massachusetts, was positioning himself as a strong alternative to President Bush, criticizing the administration's handling of the Iraq War and its domestic policies. Kerry's campaign emphasized the need for new leadership that could restore America's standing in the world and address pressing issues at home, such as health care and the economy. President George W. Bush, on the other hand, was highlighting his leadership during the 9/11 attacks and the subsequent war on terror. His campaign focused on national security, tax cuts, and conservative social policies. Bush aimed to portray himself as a decisive leader capable of keeping America safe and prosperous. Town halls and debates. Both candidates were actively engaging in town halls and debates where they faced tough questions from voters and media alike. These events were crucial in shaping public perception and gaining support from undecided voters. Notable moments included heated exchanges over the handling of the Iraq War, with Kerry criticizing the lack of a clear exit strategy and Bush defending his decision to invade, citing the need to combat terrorism and spread democracy. Key issues. The economy was a major focal point, with discussions centered around job creation, outsourcing, and economic recovery. Kerry proposed policies to support middle-class families, improve job training programs, and provide tax relief for working Americans. Bush emphasized the success of his tax cuts and argued that they were essential for economic growth. Healthcare was another significant issue. Kerry advocated for expanding access to healthcare and reducing costs, while Bush promoted health savings accounts and market-based solutions. Impact on public opinion. Public opinion polls showed a closely contested race with voters deeply divided along party lines. Key battleground states such as Ohio, Florida, and Pennsylvania were critical to securing victory, and both campaigns invested significant resources in these areas. Grassroots mobilization. Grassroots mobilization was in full swing, with both campaigns organizing door-to-door canvassing, phone banking, and volunteer events. The involvement of young voters and minority communities was particularly noteworthy, as both sides sought to energize and mobilize their bases. Media coverage. The media played a pivotal role in shaping the narrative of the election. Major news networks, newspapers, and online platforms provided extensive coverage of campaign events, policy proposals, and candidate interviews. The rise of cable news and internet media also meant that voters had access to a wider range of perspectives and analysis. International Relations, G8. Summit in Sea Island, Georgia. The G8 Summit, held from June 8th to June 10th, 2004, had just concluded in Sea Island, Georgia. This annual gathering brought together leaders from the world's major industrialized nations to discuss pressing global issues and coordinate international policy. Key discussions. The summit focused on a range of topics, including the ongoing war in Iraq, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, economic development, and global security. Leaders debated strategies for stabilizing Iraq, supporting the interim Iraqi government, and addressing the broader Middle East peace process. Economic policies. Economic policies were also a significant focus, with discussions on promoting global economic growth, addressing trade imbalances, and combating poverty. The leaders reaffirmed their commitment to free trade and the reduction of trade barriers, while also acknowledging the need for targeted aid to developing countries. Climate change and environmental issues. Environmental issues and climate change were on the agenda, with calls for greater international cooperation to address these challenges. While there was general agreement on the need for action, differences in approach and policy priorities were evident among the G8 members. Outcomes and agreements. The summit concluded with a joint statement outlining the key agreements and commitments made by the participating countries. These included pledges to support democratic reforms in the Middle East, enhance international counterterrorism efforts, and promote sustainable development. Impact on global policy. The outcomes of the G8 summit were expected to influence international policy in the coming years. The commitments made by the leaders set the stage for future cooperation on critical issues and provided a framework for addressing global challenges. Music. Usher's album Confessions continued to dominate the charts, with hit singles like Burn and Confessions Part 2 receiving heavy rotation on radio and music channels. The album's success underscored Usher's influence on the music industry and his ability to connect with a broad audience. Television, reality TV shows were gaining immense popularity. American Idol had recently concluded its third season, with Fantasia Barrino crowned as the winner. The show continued to be a cultural phenomenon, influencing the music industry and popular culture. Movies. The summer blockbuster season was in full swing, with Spider-Man 2 generating significant buzz ahead of its release. Fans eagerly anticipated the sequel to the 2002 hit, and early reviews praised its action sequences and emotional depth. On June 17, 2004, the U.S. Federal Reserve indicated the possibility of future interest rate hikes due to growing concerns about inflation. This announcement was closely watched by investors and economists as it signaled a potential shift in monetary policy. Market reaction. The stock market reacted to the news with caution. Investors were reassessing their portfolios in light of the potential changes in interest rates. Sectors such as real estate and consumer goods, which are sensitive to interest rate changes, saw fluctuating stock prices. Economic implications. Higher interest rates generally lead to increased borrowing costs for consumers and businesses. This could slow down economic growth, but is also aimed at keeping inflation in check. The Federal Reserve's move was seen as a balancing act between supporting economic recovery and preventing an overheating economy. Corporate world. Microsoft's new product. Announcements. Microsoft made headlines with announcements of new products and services. The company was gearing up for the release of its next-generation operating system, Windows Vista, which promised enhanced security features, a revamped user interface, and improved performance. Strategic moves. Microsoft was also expanding its presence in the gaming industry with the Xbox console, positioning itself as a major player in the growing market for home entertainment. The company's investments in software development and gaming were seen as strategic moves to diversify its revenue streams and maintain its competitive edge. Impact on the tech industry. These announcements reflected the rapid pace of technological advancements and the competitive nature of the tech industry. Companies were continuously innovating to meet consumer demands and stay ahead in the market. Google's growth and innovations. Google continued to be a significant player in the tech world with ongoing innovations and expansions. The company was working on new features for its search engine and preparing for the launch of new services that would enhance user experience. IPO preparations. Google was also in the process of preparing for its initial public offering, IPO, which was set to take place later in the year. The IPO was highly anticipated and expected to be one of the largest in history, marking a milestone for the company and the tech industry. Scientific achievements. Space exploration. Cassini's approach to Saturn. NASA's Cassini spacecraft was approaching Saturn, preparing for its historic entry into orbit around the ringed planet. The mission, which had been launched in 1997, was one of the most ambitious endeavors in space exploration. Mission goals. Cassini's mission aimed to study Saturn's atmosphere, rings, and moons in unprecedented detail. Scientists were particularly interested in exploring Titan, Saturn's largest moon, which was believed to have conditions that could support life. Technological feats. The spacecraft's journey to Saturn involved numerous technological feats, including gravity assists from Venus and Jupiter to gain the necessary speed. The mission represented a significant achievement in space exploration and was expected to yield valuable scientific data. Public interest. The approach of Cassini to Saturn captured the public's imagination. Media outlets provided extensive coverage of the mission, and NASA engaged with the public through educational programs and online updates. The mission was seen as a testament to human curiosity and the drive to explore the unknown. Breakthroughs in genetic research, June 17, 2004, saw significant advancements in genetic research. Scientists were making strides in understanding the human genome and its implications for medicine and biology. Research on gene therapy and genetic engineering was opening new possibilities for treating previously incurable diseases. Ethical and social implications. These breakthroughs also raised important ethical and social questions. Debates about the implications of genetic modification, privacy concerns related to genetic information, and the potential for genetic discrimination were gaining prominence. Future prospects. The advancements in biotechnology held the promise of revolutionizing medicine. Personalized medicine, where treatments are tailored to an individual's genetic profile, was becoming a realistic possibility. Researchers were optimistic about the potential to develop new therapies and improve human health. Music. Usher's dominance on the charts. Usher's album Confessions continued to top the charts. The album's blend of R&B and pop, combined with its introspective lyrics about love and heartbreak, resonated with a wide audience. Usher's music videos and live performances were also receiving significant attention, solidifying his status as a leading artist. Influence on music trends. The success of Confessions influenced music trends, with other artists incorporating similar themes and styles into their work. Usher's ability to connect with listeners on an emotional level set a standard for contemporary R&B and pop music. Television. Reality TV. Reality TV was experiencing a boom. Shows like American Idol, Survivor, and The Apprentice were capturing high ratings and generating considerable buzz. American Idol, in particular, had just concluded its third season, with Fantasia Barrino emerging as the winner. Her victory was celebrated by fans and critics alike, and her career was set to take off. Reality TV was reshaping the television landscape. These shows offered viewers a mix of drama, competition, and real-life storytelling that was both entertaining and addictive. The genre's popularity influenced programming decisions across networks, leading to the development of new reality series. Movies. Anticipation for Spider-Man. The anticipation for the release of Spider-Man 2 was building. Set to hit theaters on June 30th, the sequel to the 2002 blockbuster promised even more action, drama, and special effects. Early trailers and promotional material had fans eagerly awaiting the continuation of Peter Parker's story. Cultural significance. Spider-Man 2 was significant not just as a movie, but as a cultural event. It exemplified the growing trend of superhero films dominating the box office. The film's success was expected to influence future productions and cement the superhero genre as a staple of modern cinema. June 17, 2004, was a day of significant developments in economics, science, and culture. The Federal Reserve's hints at interest rate hikes, major corporate announcements, advancements in space exploration and biotechnology, and the cultural impact of music, television, and movies all contributed to a dynamic and eventful week. June 18, 2004. The UEFA Euro 2004 tournament was in full swing, captivating football fans across Europe and the world. Held in Portugal, this prestigious competition featured 16 national teams vying for the championship. The group stage matches were intense, with several surprising outcomes that kept fans on the edge of their seats. Notable matches. On June 18, 2004, the tournament saw thrilling matches that had significant implications for the progression to the knockout stages. Key matches included Italy versus Sweden, which ended in a dramatic one draw thanks to a stunning late goal by Sweden's Zlatan Ibrahimovic. This match was crucial for both teams' hopes of advancing in the tournament. The Czech Republic, known for their dynamic play, continued to impress with their performances, showcasing the talents of players like Pavel Nedved and Milan Baros. Their match against Latvia was a highlight as they secured a 2-1 victory. The enthusiasm and passion of the fans were palpable. Stadiums were filled with supporters donning their national colors, and cities across Portugal were alive with celebrations and festivities. The atmosphere was electric, reflecting the unifying power of football. U.S. Open Golf Championship. The U.S. Open, one of golf's most prestigious tournaments, was underway at the challenging Shinnecock Hills Golf Club in New York. The event brought together the world's top golfers, all competing for the coveted title and a place in the sport's history. Notable competitors. The competition was fierce, with legendary players like Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, and Ernie Els in contention. Mickelson, in particular, was drawing significant attention, having recently won the Masters earlier in the year. His performance at Shinnecock Hills was closely watched by fans and analysts. Course challenges. Shinnecock Hills is known for its tough conditions, including fast greens and unpredictable winds, which tested the skill and mental fortitude of the players. The course's design and setup added to the drama, making every hole a potential game-changer. Fan experience. Fans thronged the course, creating a vibrant and supportive atmosphere. The U.S. Open's popularity was evident in the large crowds and extensive media coverage, highlighting golf's status as a major spectator sport. Entertainment news movies, summer blockbusters. The summer of 2004 was a blockbuster season, with major releases drawing audiences to theaters. Anticipation for Spider-Man 2, set to be released on June 30th, was building. The film, directed by Sam Raimi and starring Tobey Maguire as the iconic superhero, promised to deliver even more action, drama, and special effects than its predecessor. Promotional campaigns, marketing efforts for Spider-Man 2 were in high gear. Trailers, posters, and merchandise were everywhere, creating a buzz that was hard to ignore. Early reviews praised the film's storytelling and visual spectacle, raising expectations even higher. The success of the Spider-Man franchise was indicative of the growing dominance of superhero films in Hollywood. These movies were not only box office hits, but also cultural phenomena influencing fashion, merchandise, and even comic book sales. High-profile engagements and breakups. The entertainment world was buzzing with news of celebrity engagements, breakups, and scandals. Jennifer Lopez and Marc Anthony's surprise wedding continued to dominate headlines. The couple, both renowned for their contributions to Latin music, had taken their fans by surprise with their sudden nuptials. The media's fascination with celebrity relationships was at an all-time high. Paparazzi and tabloids were constantly on the lookout for the latest scoop, and fans eagerly consumed every detail. This period marked a significant rise in the culture of celebrity journalism and the public's obsession with the personal lives of stars. Celebrity relationships, both positive and negative, had a profound impact on public perception. Fans often felt a personal connection to their favorite stars, and news of their romantic lives could influence public opinion and even career trajectories. Technological innovations. Apple continued to revolutionize the music industry with its iPod line. On June 18, 2004, the company announced new updates to its popular digital music player, enhancing its features and design. The iPod was quickly becoming a must-have gadget, changing the way people listened to and purchased music. The iPod's success had a significant impact on the music industry. Digital music sales were on the rise, and traditional CD sales were declining. The convenience of carrying thousands of songs in a pocket-sized device appealed to consumers and set the stage for the digital music revolution. The new updates included increased storage capacity, improved battery life, and enhanced user interfaces. These advancements made the iPod even more appealing to tech-savvy consumers and solidified Apple's reputation as an innovator in consumer electronics. Rise of social media. Social media platforms were beginning to emerge and gain traction. Facebook, initially launched in February 2004, was starting to expand beyond its original user base of college students. The platform's growth hinted at the significant role social media would soon play in communication and networking. The rise of social media was beginning to change how people connected, shared information, and interacted online. These platforms were creating new opportunities for social interaction, marketing, and information dissemination, setting the stage for the digital age. Cultural shifts. Celebrity influence. Celebrity fashion continued to have a major influence on trends. Red carpet events, movie premieres, and music awards were showcases for the latest styles. Stars like Jennifer Lopez, Beyoncé, and Brad Pitt were not only admired for their talents, but also for their fashion choices. The summer of 2004 saw trends like low-rise jeans, cargo pants, and boho chic styles gaining popularity. Fashion magazines and television shows provided coverage of the latest trends, influencing the wardrobes of people around the world. Reality TV shows were gaining immense popularity and reshaping the television landscape. American Idol, Survivor, and The Apprentice were leading the way, capturing high ratings and generating considerable buzz. These shows offered viewers a mix of drama, competition, and real-life storytelling that was both entertaining and addictive. The genre's popularity influenced programming decisions across networks, leading to the development of new reality series. June 18, 2004, was a dynamic day marked by significant events in sports, entertainment, technology, and culture. The excitement of the UEFA Euro 2004 and the U.S. Open, the buzz around summer blockbusters and celebrity news, the advancements in technology, and the cultural shifts in fashion and media all contributed to a vibrant and eventful week. June 19, 2004. Gadget releases. Apple announced new updates to its iPod line, continuing to revolutionize the way people listen to music. The popularity of the iPod was a testament to the growing influence of portable digital music players. Social media platforms were emerging, with sites like Facebook starting to gain traction among college students. The rise of social media was beginning to change how people connected and shared information online. The fashion industry was experiencing shifts, with new designers making their mark and influencing global trends. The emphasis on celebrity fashion was growing, with red carpet events and magazine covers showcasing the latest styles. June 20th, 2004. U.S. politics. The lead-up to the 2004 U.S. presidential election was intensifying, with both candidates focusing on key battleground states. Campaign strategies were being scrutinized, and voter engagement was a major focus. International relations were in focus, with significant discussions on climate change and global security. The Kyoto Protocol, an international treaty aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions, was a topic of debate among world leaders. Public health. Public health campaigns were addressing issues like obesity and smoking, aiming to improve the overall well-being of the population. Efforts to raise awareness and promote healthier lifestyles were gaining momentum. Education reforms were being debated, with a focus on improving standards and accessibility. The goal was to ensure that all students had access to quality education and the tools needed to succeed. June 21, 2004, Market Trends. The U.S. stock market was reacting to various economic indicators, with investors keeping a close eye on reports about job growth, consumer spending, and corporate earnings. International trade negotiations were ongoing, with discussions about tariffs, trade agreements, and economic cooperation. The World Trade Organization was actively working to facilitate smoother global trade relations. Medical research. Advances in medical research were making headlines with breakthroughs in stem cell research and genetic therapies. These developments held the promise of new treatments for various diseases and conditions. Environmental science. Scientists were conducting studies on climate change and its impact on the planet. The findings were contributing to the ongoing dialogue about environmental policies and sustainable practices. As the 2004 presidential election approached, both President George W. Bush and Senator John Kerry were ramping up their campaigns. On June 22, 2004, the Bush campaign focused on highlighting the president's leadership during the 9/11 attacks and his decisive actions in the war on terror. Bush's speeches emphasized national security and portrayed him as a steadfast leader in times of crisis. John Kerry, the Democratic candidate, was focusing on critiquing Bush's handling of the Iraq War and promoting his vision for a more collaborative approach to foreign policy. Kerry advocated for stronger alliances and more effective use of diplomacy, criticizing the unilateral actions of the Bush administration. Both campaigns were particularly active in key battleground states like Ohio, Florida, and Pennsylvania. These states were critical to securing victory in the Electoral College, and both candidates invested significant resources in grassroots mobilization, advertisements, and public appearances. Voter registration drives and get-out-the-vote efforts were in full swing. Both parties aimed to mobilize young voters, minorities, and other key demographics. The use of technology and social media was becoming increasingly important in these efforts, signaling a shift in how campaigns connected with voters. Middle East tensions. Tensions in the Middle East remained high, with ongoing conflicts and political instability. On June 22, 2004, discussions continued regarding the handover of sovereignty to the Iraqi interim government, scheduled for June 30th. The international community was closely monitoring the situation, with hopes that the transition would lead to greater stability in the region. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict was another focal point. Efforts to restart peace negotiations were ongoing, with various international actors, including the United States and the European Union, playing roles in mediating discussions. The goal was to find a sustainable solution to the long-standing conflict, though significant challenges remained. June 22, 2004. The final day of our look back at this week in 2004 saw various cultural and social events that left a lasting impact. From political developments to technological advancements, this week was full of moments that shaped our present and future. June 22, 2004 was a day marked by significant developments in politics, economics, science, and culture. The intensifying presidential campaign, global trade negotiations, scientific breakthroughs, and cultural phenomena all contributed to a dynamic and eventful week. These events reflected broader trends and changes that continue to influence our world today. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the events of June 16th to June 22nd, 2004. We hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. Be sure to tune in next week as we continue to explore the stories that shaped our world 20 years ago. Until next time, I'm Ashley Lynwood, and this is 20-Year Chronicles. Subscribe now to 20-Year Chronicles and step back in time with us.